So let's just start off with where have I been? I've been sick as a dog, and I'm still sick. Getting ready for this video today, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't shoot today. I'm still coughing, I'm still stuffy, and I feel like I'm about to start sweating, but it's been a while. So from time to time you will see my eyes watering because I stopped to cough, and that's just the way it is. What are we doing today? We're doing my series of best of the year, and starting with foundation, which is the one that people really want to know about the most. I do these videos a little differently than other people in that I talk about everything that I've tried this year and what my favorites are. And in this case, I had a couple of fails. So without further ado, let's get into it. I also am going to post right here my playlist for foundations. Now sometimes this little thing right here opens up and you can see what it is, but sometimes it's just an eye. Look for that little eye and click on it. It will open a new page. Don't let it play, just pause that and then come back here to watch everything. I really wasn't sure how I should go about shooting this video. Should I start with my favorites, end with my favorites, or go as the year went on? I think I'm going to go as the year went on because I'm wearing something right now that I either reviewed at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and it is the Suqqu cream. And it's incredibly stunning on the face. I love this. You didn't see me wear it very much because the shade that I have is a little bit too light for me, and I can wear it right now and feel very comfortable with it. Also, it's been discontinued and there's a new one. So Suqqu doesn't go out of their way to help you find a shade. I think I'm going to have to actually call Selfridges and speak to the Suqqu desk and tell them what shade I used. It was a little too light, but I love the undertone. Beautiful, beautiful foundation. If you can find the old formula, do it. And I'll have all my shades listed below. Eyesight, not so good, and I just want to run through this before I start to sweat. Let's be honest. Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin. Here's the thing. Makeup by Mario has a lot of good products. I love the blushes, the cream, the powder. I like many things about this brand, but this foundation disappointed. And it wasn't that it was bad. It was just like, okay, it was fine. But I don't want fine. I think all of us are looking for a miracle in a bottle. That's why we like foundations so much, or why we're always searching for the Holy Grail foundation, because the right foundation that works well with your skincare and your sunscreen and your powder products, it doesn't smear, it doesn't go all over the place, it makes your skin look insanely beautiful. I think that's what we all want. This didn't do that. It was a fail for me, not horrible, and maybe it works for some people, but for me, it didn't make me excited. The Gucci 24-Hour Wear Luminous Matte Foundation. It is luminous matte, and there were very nice qualities about it, as I recall. I didn't watch all my videos over again, but I returned this. The shade range was horrifying. It was very pretty on the skin. Matte's not my thing, but as mattes go, I think I prefer the Clé de Peau over the Gucci. The Laura Mercier Real Flawless. Again, it was fine. I thought the skin looked beautiful. I think it's a good product for many people, but for me, it didn't wow me. It didn't make me think, this is the look I want to have. My bar is really, really high to love something. So, you know, something I may not like, you may love, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm reading here because really long title. Say, Glowy Super Skin Serum Foundation was the worst thing I ever put on my face in the foundation realm. Bar none. Horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. I don't remember. I think some people wrote me kind of nasty remarks saying I was doing it wrong and you shouldn't be using skincare with it. And I will say what I'm feeling about that, and that is it's incredibly presumptuous and absolutely wrong for any company to say your skincare is in this foundation. And the reason for that is because they don't know me and they don't know you either. And it's presumptuous to think that every single woman has the same needs, the same skin type, the same outcome. the same desires. I put on my skincare and I put on my sunscreen. And any company that says you don't need to do that, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It was hideous. Guerlain Le Tint Healthy Glow Foundation. This is kind of like the Gucci for me. It was fine. I think for some people it will work. For me, it didn't give me that je ne sais quoi that I am looking for. I want my foundation to look like my skin. I want people to say, oh, you have such beautiful skin, not, you have such beautiful makeup on. I'm 61 years old. I should have said this in the beginning. My skin is on the dry side. It's not actually dry, but it doesn't produce oils so much anymore. When I was sick this last 2 weeks or so, I hardly ever did any skincare. My skin doesn't look so hot right now, but look at this. I think it looks freaking beautiful with this Shiseido. I did not get that feeling from the Guerlain. It was good, but for me, I guess maybe this video is about what's good enough for me to keep, because I have limited space and I don't want to have 12 new foundations in here. The Ritual de Fille 3-drop foundation, this is one of the ones I kept. There are 3 this year that I discovered that I'm absolutely bonkers for. This is one of them. I didn't wear it in the summer because I'm a very sweaty Betty and I was afraid everything would just be rolling off my face. But this is incredibly beautiful, and I almost wore it today. It was only when I sat down I thought, oh, the Suqqu, I haven't worn this in such a long time. It is flawless. When I look on my thumbnails, I'm going to post right here the picture of the thumbnail for the Yucca palette, and I remember thinking, what am I wearing on my skin? My skin looks beautiful. This is what I'm wearing. I am going to post right here, again, look for the eye, my review, and I did 2 or 3 videos on this because I have 4 colors. I showed each color on a quadrant of my face so you could get a good idea of what shade works for you. I love this. It's comfortable, it's beautiful, it makes my skin look insane, but for me the coverage is really, really good, but it doesn't look cakey. It just looks so beautiful, so comfortable, plays well with others. I cannot say enough good things about the Ritual de Fille, and I believe I have a discount code with them. I can't think right now. And look in my description box, you will see the code. I think it's 10% off. Take advantage of it. And yes, Ritual de Fille 3-drop foundation, a winner for this year, along with the Suqqu. So we have 2 out of 4. The Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I liked it. It was fine. But you know what? I'm not really into skin tints all that much. I need a little bit more than a tint. It was a very thick consistency, and it just wasn't, it was kind of like the Kjaer Weis. They're nice, but I don't think in the morning, oh, I can't wait to put that on. I have many foundations that I can't wait to put on. I love the experience. I love what it does for my skin. And both of those were like, they're fine, but why do I need these? I have foundations that I like better. So it was a delight, just not something that I felt like I needed to keep. The Dior Backstage reformulation. Now, I've seen people say this is horrible. I will say my other Dior Backstage, I didn't use all that often. I used it primarily on my chest so I can cover up my redness if I'm wearing something V-neck or U-neck or whatever. I'm showing my chest. And I just need to tone down this redness because this doesn't transfer and ruin your clothes. I would wear it on my face sometimes when the weather was particularly humid. I live in Los Angeles. It's more on the dry side than on the humid side, although we do have humidity from time to time. In other words, I had the other bottle for about 2 or 3 years, and I probably used a quarter of it. Maybe if you use this every single day, you'll see a difference between the new one and the old one. I don't. I think it's lovely. It still suits my needs, which is humidity and covering the redness so I don't look like my chest is on fire. The Fenty Eaze Drop, when I got this a couple of months ago, I used it all the time. I loved the fact that this is just so easy. You know, voop, 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 and blend it in and you're done. The shade's not bad for me. It's not 100% perfect. I would probably use it even more still. But like I said, when I bought this, this was my go-to. I know this sounds insane, for a couple of weeks. You know, something is always coming around, but I was using this a lot. Travels, it's great to put in your purse for touch-ups. So let's say you're working in an office. At the end of the day, you're going to go do something. You don't want to look like a disaster. You can just pick this up and put your finger on it and boop, 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 whatever you need to take care of. You can also put it under your eyes. I think it's lovely. It's something that people don't talk about so much, and I'm not sure why, but that's a nice product, and I kept it. The Shiseido Revital Essence Skin Glow. Another one that is perfectly lovely. The shade wasn't too terrible for me. I do find that there's not a great shade for me in the Shiseido line. I love their Synchro Skin. The first Synchro Skin, they came out in the square. And I used to have the one that was shaped kind of like this, also called Synchro Skin, but the colors were different for that line than for the new Shiseido Synchro Skin. And this one is also lovely. It does leave you quite glowy. You will need to powder it down unless you come to the table, you come to your makeup table with a mattified face, then it might be fine and you'll get a skin-like finish. I didn't hate it, you guys, but again, I didn't love it enough to keep it. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because then I found this. I can't remember if somebody asked me about it or if I saw it in the store or I don't know what, but the Rose Ink, this is called the Soft Light Foundation. Again, can't find a shade, which was surprising for me because their tint that they came out with maybe a year before this had a beautiful shade for me, but they changed the color, so I did have to get two. And sometimes this one is fine for me alone, and now that I'm getting a little lighter, that one will probably be good as well. It was such a surprise. I'm going to post the video right here. I was just putting it on and talking on the camera and not really paying attention, and I looked in the mirror and thought, wow, this is really pretty. Really pretty. And how nice. Now somebody asked me, between the Ritual de Fille and the Rose Ink, which would I prefer? I think they're very, very different. They both look beautiful on the skin. They both look like skin. But the Ritual de Fille in the summertime, not for me. I just am a sweater. I'm going to go with the Dior. I'm going to go with something else. Even the Suqqu I think I could wear in weather where I'm sweaty if they had, you know, a shade for me. This one would be in warmer weather, although it's completely comfortable in cooler weather. But I do feel that if your skin is quite dry and you live in a climate that's very dry in the winter time, you might need a little bit more moisturizer when you're going on with this. It is made for acneic skin, which I think is part of the reason I haven't seen anybody that I follow talk about this foundation, because they're not acneic. I don't feel that it's drying on the skin, which was my fear when I read that. Aha! So there's going to be some things in here that might dry out my skin. Not the case. But like I said, if you have very dry skin, you might need extra moisturizer. If you have very dry skin and you live in a dry area, I would recommend this one. For me, I will make use of both of them, but I have to say that between the two, I think my heart belongs to the Ritual de Fille because it makes me feel like I'm so much prettier than I am. Okay, and then finally, hopefully I have edited this and posted this. I did a 3-day wear test on this Valentino balm. And again, a viewer mentioned this to me a couple of weeks ago. I bought it immediately. I started my wear test and I got sick as a dog and I couldn't finish it. And I have finished it and I have edited it. I haven't edited it yet, so that's going to be a beast. I'm not sure I'm going to have the mental acuity to edit, but we'll see. This is insanely beautiful. This is fabulous. So do take a look at that review and you will see everything that I think about this, but these are my 4 of the year. The Shiseido, which no longer around. If you can find it, buy it. And again, all my shades will be down below. With the Ritual de Fille, I have 4 shades and I mix them. So right now, I might not need to mix them. I could go on with the 120 perhaps, but if not, I can mix the 120 with a little bit, a drop of the 130 to deepen it up just a little bit. This is one of my top 4 for the year. The Rose Ink Soft Light, a huge sleeper for me. Where did this come from? What is going on? I don't understand, but it is beautiful and you need to know about it. And is this Valentino? Did I call this Valentino? I think it's Valentino. The Valentino balm. Look at that review. It is extraordinarily beautiful. And unlike most of these others, it leaves me a little bit more soft matte, depending on the sunscreen, of course. This finish is a little bit similar to this, to the Suqqu. And it's small, it's compact, fits in your purse, comes with a sponge. You can do a reapplication if you need to. Looks magnificent under the eyes. And they, suggest you buy a ton of shades and do contouring with it and bronzing with it and the whole bit. You do you. I don't think I'm going to go that far with it, but it's absolutely lovely. The only caveat for me is, guessed it, color, only 14 shades. But if there's a shade that works for you, kind of doesn't matter. That's the way I look at it. 5 shades, who cares? What's perfect for me, I'm going to recommend it to people. This one I recommend based on the formula, not necessarily on the color, but something might work there for you. And that's going to wrap up this video, you guys. I'd love to hear what your favorites were for this year. And maybe if I turned you on to something that you absolutely adore, I'd like to hear that too. And yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health. Do watch out for this nasty cold. It's so much fun. Ciao.